Hi guys, welcome back to Kodemine. Carrie here and hope you guys are enjoying our C programming tutorial on our channel Kodemine, right? And the guys who still not subscribed our channel, please do subscribe by hitting the red subscribe button, right? So this is our last topic, technically you can say, in a C programming, right? The naming convention and the commenting. So the naming convention and commenting is a very important skill for a programmer, right? If you want to become a professional programmer, right? So that is very important how to understand the naming convention and commenting. So what is naming convention, right? So we need to understand that naming convention is how you give name to your variables, functions and constants, right? So these are the three major things which we use, and here we have some ways which we use to create some patterns to create a variables, function and a constant, right? So first of all we will talk about that, right? So naming convention, what is that? So naming convention is like the variable name, function name and constant name should be very much are related, right? It should be not XYZ which we have done for the basic programming, right? It should be a very like a specific related to the what the job of that variable. For example, we have a two naming convention majorly we use, that is camel case, right? And we have a naming convention, right? And we have a here underscore case. Okay. So this is our two cases, right? We can have a multiple cases as well, but we can use multiple these, right? For example, we are going to create a program related to the employees, right? So for example, we want to how we can give a name to the variable, right? But should be in like, for example, we have a first name, it should be like first underscore name, right? That is a camel underscore case, right? So if the name should be variable name should be related, and here we have a underscore camel case, so it should be like first then n capital, right? So it should look like a camel, so that is a camel case which is mostly used in Java, right? So what will be the your constant? For example, constant is, so constant should be always in capital letter. For example, here like file path, right? So it should be like file path, right? And here it should be like file underscore path, right? Or here we can use underscore also, right? So for the constant we use same approach. In the camel case read underscore case, right? But it should be capital letter, right? So for example, functions, how could be that? For example, employee salary, so how it could be? Employee imp salary, right? It should be like this, right? Or in the camel case it should be like imp salary, right? So this is a naming convention of a how to write down the variables, functions and the constant, right? So these are the two cases which I have explained here. So the names should be very related to the variable, right? So that we can understand, okay, first name, it means it's storing the first name, it's the last name, storing the last name. Okay, salary, this variable is saving the salary, right? This function is imp salary, which means it return the salary of employees, right? This is a file path constant. So then from name it should be clear that what is the job of a variable, right? Or a constant or a function, right? So that is about the naming convention. So if I talk about commenting, right, or documentation, so basically what is the documentation, right? Documentation is like to write down code with the some commenting, right? You comment down, okay, what is happening exactly in the file. So what we do, right, we do the commenting at file level, right? And we do in the functions, in if conditions, right, or important variables, right. So in the fourth section we give the commenting, right. These are the majorly four sections where the commenting is required, right. In the file, what we write down in comment, for example, if we talk about, right, this is our file and here we write down this way, this like this. So we have a two way to comment, right. This is for single line is like this, and multi-line is, multiple lines are like this. We can write down this way. So we can write down any file. So for here we will do this thing, right, and this way, and this thing is here. So what is happening here? File. So file name, right, and file name is, for example, employee.c, right, and here we have a description, correct. So here we write down about the file, why we create this file, what is the use of this file, the package which we are using here, right, and these kind of information we write down in the file. For example, what we write down in function. So if I talk about function, for example, we have a function here like function, then rate of calculate salary, right, and here we have a imp id. So that is that here. The imp id is in int, right. So this is our float because it can be a float also, right. So this function is in float, right. So what we can write down, so what will be our commenting is, it should be like multi comment, it should be like this, right. So one important thing is name. So we can write down in beautiful terms like name, then the name of the function. So I am talking about the professional commenting, right, not the general commenting. So params is like, right. So we can mention this params here, and here in the description what we can do, the function input as imp id and return the salary against imp id, right. So we can add on multiple things here, right, but these are the basics commenting we required above any function, right. If we write down a function, these three things should be required, right. If parameters are not there, right, if there is no parameter, we can skip this thing, right, but we need this name and a description, right. So that is that here, right. So what kind of commenting we will do into the if? So in if, right, this like for example, basic pay is greater than DA, right. So return DA, else return basic pay, right. So here we can write down a comment like compare. So in simple word we can write down here compare basic pay and DA, return whatever is high, right. So this is a simple way which we can use to comment above the if conditions, right. So that is for in for loop we can also do that, right, if conditions or for or any loops, right. Then next thing, important variable, important point, decision making, right. Like for example, we have a int basic salary, right? And here we have a float rate of interest, right? So here we can comment this is variable used to store the rate of interest, right? So that is very important, right, to comment down the important variables. So in simple term, if I talk about the where we need to do the commenting is files, functions, if conditions, loops, and the important variable. So this is way which we can do the commenting on in any programming. Like, it's not related to the C, but it's about all the programming language which we use, right? The file which we have created, the purpose for that, the function which we have writing down here, the purpose behind that, and the condition what will be the output of this loop. So we write down in a simple way, so that if we leave the job, or if we stop development, if any other programmer come and see the code, from comment he can easily understand, okay, what is the flow of this program, right? And in important variable we also do the commenting. So these are the several ways, right, to document our code, right? And it's a very important skill to do commenting, right? In large organization we do stress on this thing, right? And the case which I talk about, the naming convention, that is also very important, right? So that your code should be look like a storytelling, right? So this is all about naming convention and commenting, and hope you guys enjoyed this series, right? In this throughout series you have enjoyed with us. And if you guys still have any query, any question, you guys can comment into the comment box, right? And the guys who still not subscribed our channel, please do hit the red subscribe button right below this video, and please hit the bell icon for the notification of upcoming videos, right? So thanks for watching. Have a very good day.